Yesterday, they were like, I'm not at my computer right now, but tomorrow you're going to get timed out. And then Origin came back and was like, I'm back. Hope you enjoyed your extra day of chatting. They got you good. I was thinking the same thing. This is OJ, but it's actually this. And that could be a Ford Bronco, man. But what is this? The OJ Simpson TV movie? No, okay. Maybe it's inspired by OJ. It definitely has a Michael Bay look to it. Because it could be a movie that takes place in 1990s Los Angeles, and this is just a part of it. I don't know. Like maybe this is Nightcrawler. Did this show up in Nightcrawler? I can't remember. Certainly looks like California based on the California license plate. That looks very Los Angeles. I don't know what's going on here, man. But could this be like Hancock? It's Hancock, y'all. I own you. I've never seen Hancock. So that explains why I don't know this. That's him, man. That's Hancock. This, I will say, I don't know, it depends on how old you are. This was like the most anticipated movie summer '08, I think. And then when reviews, I really think this was the beginning of the end for the Will Smith cultural zeitgeist. Because he couldn't miss, man. He couldn't miss. And then Hancock was so glazed. People were like, this is going to be the biggest movie of the year. And then it came out, I think, if I remember correctly, it had like amazing Thursday, Friday numbers. And then everybody texted their friends and went, what is this horse shit? And then like, it's the only movie where the graph like cratered before the first weekend was even over. Maybe Batman versus Superman is in there too. Just doesn't look right to me. The hair doesn't. I'm not. It looks like a piece. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying it looks like a piece. I'm a hair knower, man. A Lego piece. Dude, so I was at the bookstore. I think a couple of you might have spotted me at the bookstore. You can say hi. Even if I'm out with my kid, you just say hi. It's not a big deal. Oh, like you're doing right now? But my kid's into Lego Star Wars right now. So I was going to buy her like some Lego Star Wars, like a Lego Star Wars book. Spoilers, it ended up being fine. We bought a Lego Star Wars book. But all of the Lego Star Wars books had like paper on the front of them that was like minifigure missing. And then I open up the page, like the cover, and there's like 2 finger holes clawed into where the minifigure is supposed to be, and it's been ripped out. So I don't know if that was a little kid or the most evil, like, Gen X man of all time. But somebody went into the fucking bookstore and ripped out all the Lego minifigurines. We managed to get one of the last ones. We got a little Darth Maul mini figurine that came with our visual Lego Star Wars dictionary. So now when I read my daughter's stories before bed, it's always like I'm learning a lot about Y-Wings and like the members of the Jedi Council that are not Yoda and Mace Windu. I'm learning a lot about it. But honestly, the Lego Star Wars stuff's kind of chill. Could be worse. She could be into like the real Star Wars, but maybe it'll happen. Kiadi Mundi. I'm not messing with that guy. The Jets won Monday Night Football opener in overtime against this AFC team. This was crazy. They beat the Bills. Nobody expected it. I remember that. This is one of the things about football I know, even though it's not from this year, because of the irony of him getting injured on like the second snap of the game. I also remember when he was crawling like he needed a res in Fortnite. I like Garth Maul, Ricky. I like Garth Maul. Darth Maul with the cowboy hat. I like that. Garth Maul. We're trying to work Chris Gaines in there, but I don't think I can get it going. This Hall of Famer and 9X All-Star center spent most of his career with the Celtics and won a title with the Bulls at age 43 in 1997. I don't know who the center for the Bulls was. Wasn't it that Wasn't it Tony Kirchich? Let's just go Tony Snell. Let's put some respect on my Snell. No idea. What team had Aroldis Chapman totaled the most regular season saves? What team did he total the most saves for during his career? That's easy, man. The Angels of Anaheim. According to the U.S. Energy Information Administration, the most oil produced in South America is by Brazil and I would assume Venezuela. That is Olivia Wilde and Gary Oldman. It's Olivia Wilde for sure. Is that Slow Horses era Gary Oldman? We take those any day of the week. This brand of chewing gum released a set of advertisements following a love story depicted via drawings on gum wrappers set to the song Can't Help Falling in Love. Who knows, man? Not Trident, y'all. If it ain't Trident, I don't care. In 2025, Hollywood Squares debuted on what major network? ABC. That seems like an ABC joint to me. Billy Crystal played an unhappy man from Manhattan in the movie City Slickers. What artist has won MTV Video Music Award for Video of the Year 5 times? That's interesting, man, because I'm assuming these awards started in the 80s. So you would think, first off, Madonna, Michael Jackson. Then in the 90s, music videos were still king. I don't think it would be the Spice Girls, but you got to think maybe Britney has a chance. Yeah, I think Britney could be up there. Definitely Hit Me Baby One More Time. Oops, I Did It Again. Maybe Toxic, and then 2 more I can't think of. Could be, I'm trying to think, Mariah. I don't think so. Her music videos weren't as put over as the songs themselves. I think it would be like Prince. Madonna's got to be close though, man. You could think like a Virgin, Like a Prayer, maybe Hung Up, Ray of Light, and Music or something like that. I gotta put some respect on the GOAT. Oh, I gotta put some respect on the GOAT. I wonder who it would be, man. Taylor Swift. I guess I forgot music videos still exist. Extra. CBS, the Yankees, and Robert Parrish. Robert Parrish. The VMAs were last night. I didn't know they were still on the air. I thought it was like a winner of the Smiling Monkey Award. And Tobey Maguire, winner of MTV Video Music Award for Best Kiss in Satan's Alley. I thought it was like that. I thought it was something like that. Times family subscriptions get 4 individual logins for 1 rate. Okay, first off, I can already do that with just 1 password. Secondly, I'm not going to have my 4-year-old read the New York Times. She might turn into David Brooks. But just put the connections in the bag. We're chilling. Let's see here. Let's see. You can crank it. You can raise it. You can hike it. And you can jack it. What is to increase the volume of something? Increase with up. Yo, turn it up. You can peel out. I don't know if that's anything. Rubbish. Rubbish, bunk, baloney, and bull. Types of BS. Nonsense. Archer's interesting. And then what is last names of famous secret agents? Archer, Ethan Hunt, Austin Powers. I'm going to assume something Fish. Something Peel then. Yep, fictional spies. Who's Peel? Emma Peel in the old Avengers. Holy cow. Tail Nap. It's like if you reverse it, it's like a kitchen cooking utensil. Fish, fishing, walking, tailing, napping. Fish, walk, tail. I don't know. Cat, you're so right. Cat. You didn't know the one female spy? First off, I'm an ally. I'm the guy who calls it the MNBA. Secondly, that's just because she's so good, I didn't even know she was a spy. All the other guys blew their cover, trusting like Jeremy Renner or Henry Cavill. Or a fembot in the case of Austin Powers. It's good if you don't know a spy, bro. You probably wouldn't know. You weren't alive in the Cold War. I was. We're going to go. We can't go to the mini. We'll go to Costco next. It was over in 89. I think it was over when Yeltsin took over. When was that? Like 90, January 3rd, 1990? Innkeeper's cinnamon streusel bread. A thick slice, man. What is that? It looks like this is full of something, but I guess it is probably full of like air. What am I talking? Who cares? 28 ounces of bread? Bread's really cheap, but this is like 2 pounds of bread. And usually you pay a little extra for the stuff that's not, that pretends to be good for you. No, never mind. It's $3.99, y'all. I thought this would be like, to be honest with you, anytime I see bread in a wrapper like this, I just feel like you're paying like gluten-free prices for it. Which I support because I think that you should have to prove that you're gluten-free. You should have to put your nuts on the table to get gluten-free food. You shouldn't be able to get it for the same price as food with gluten. Because then the switch is too easy. If you're going to be like, oh, what if I really have celiac sprue? Well, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Let's go to less more. Red Hot Chili Peppers or limb lengthening. This might be one of the saddest things you can search for sure. I'm going to go Red Hot Chili Peppers on that one. Limb lengthening is insane, man. Okay, that's a really low number. Crazy pizza to be the picture for pizza. It's going to be like in the mid millions. I'd have to in the mid-teen millions. Holy cow. When is Easter is like a really valuable search term because I've been alive for 36 years. I still don't know when it is. Some years they're like it's March. Some years they're like it's April. But on an annualized basis, I think pizza clears. Plumber or when is Easter? I got to imagine it's plumber still. Things be going wrong. Plumber or Jeremy Clarkson? I still got to feel it's plumber. That one hurt. That one hurt. Controller or Jeremy? I got to go controller. People be buying stuff. Never mind. Congrats, Jeremy Clarkson. Still pretty good. Dude, the top 0.9%? Holy cow. Shabuzi or Young Thug? Well, as I understand it, Shabuzi's Tipsy, a drunk song, is the most successful song ever made at all in human history. So I have to imagine that he's number one, man. This doesn't make any damn sense. He has the most popular song in history. Come on, it's Young Thug. I don't know who Young Thug is, man. Higher American History X has to have a higher rating. Please get it off my screen though as soon as possible. Thank you. Airplane's gonna have a higher rating. Airplane mode. Airplane mode. Ah! I was like, why is it dabbing? That doesn't seem right. Oh, that hurts. That one hurt. Every time, man. Every time. I was thinking, I was like, damn, is that the first dab in history? Cuba. Mauritania. Congo. Either or. Czechia. I'm sorry. I think we need Czechia to change the name back to the Czech Republic, and I'll tell you why. Every time I say Czechia, somebody in chat will type something like "Czechia yourself" before you Recchia yourself, and it makes me I get so upset that it's Turkey did the right thing. They changed it away from humor and towards like an accurate representation of what they want to be known as. They went from Turkey to Turkey. Much better. Now people are making so many jokes about Hungary and Turkey being next to each other like it's Thanksgiving. Czechia could learn a lot, is what I'm trying to say. They could learn a lot. 200 kilometers from Czechia. Well, we gotta try. That's adjacent, bro. I don't think so. Croatia? Could be Serbia? Interesting. Could be Slovenia. We take those. We take those any day of the week. A lot of you guys were typing Austria right there. Wouldn't be me. It'd be pretty embarrassing to be caught typing Austria right there. Wouldn't be me. Let's put it that way. This one's got to be one of my favorites for sure. Country that kind of looks like a lump. Justin, by the way, I see you're here. Let me apologize. This is like it's a gross bit. One of the things, I have a bit rattling around in my head. I think it's the end point of sundress, no panties on. Greater than sign. And it's just been, I've been trying to find the right opportunity to just get it out there, but it doesn't come up very often. The joke is just, here's the joke. We're entering joke mode. When the pussy tight. That's been in my head as just like the sort of thing that you could just drop as like a humor nuke or something like that. That's sexist. What about this other one? Head from a dude with framed AI art on the wall. Head from a dude with framed AI art on his walls. That one's better. Note to self, make jokes less heteronormative. This is Latvia, by the way. These aren't jokes, these are just sentences. The sentences that make you laugh are jokes, buddy. It's the first time you've encountered one that doesn't start with knock knock. A lot of the best jokes in the world just start with guy who. Guy who calls it the MMBA. Guy who DoorDashes teppanyaki or something like that. Guy who thinks Han Solo's Chinese. You get the idea. Some shit I think this is in Africa. I don't really know what that could be. Are you like Angola? Oh shit, you're in South America. Are you like Uruguay? You're Uruguay, man. It's that easy. You literally can't say that. December 20th, 2002. It was Christmas break, 9th grade. This is in my wheelhouse. New Line Cinema had a movie come out starring Elijah Wood. Yeah, I've heard of it. 9th grade. 9th grade is The Two Towers. 100%. Don't even have to think about it. Warner Brothers everyone was getting the fuck out of Peter Jackson's way. Starring Sandra Bullock, 2002. It could be Miss Congeniality 1. Maybe they dropped Miss Congeniality 1. Romantic comedy. Overdone Finished, a comedy about love at last glance. It's too late to be while you were sleeping. I got to think about this. Nothing's coming to mind immediately. Jennifer Lopez, 2002. Is it 43% down? So there's Made in Manhattan is from this corridor. It is Made in Manhattan. Probably Ray Fiennes wishes he could take that one back for sure. Miramax, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, 02. 4 years before The Departed. Several years after Titanic. Free Blood Diamond. Leonardo DiCaprio. Catch Me If You Can? Miramax, Catch Me If You Can? Drama, history, crime. Not Gangs of New York. Drama, history, crime. Maybe it is Gangs of New York. Did it open limited release? Because 10 million for a Scorsese opening, even in 02, seems super low. Is this like a New York, LA type opening or something like that? That's crazy. 20th Century Fox, Nick Cannon, that's Drumline. That's a good-ass movie. I don't care who you are or how many kids he's got. That's a good-ass movie. Halftime is game time. Actually, I think I've asked this question 100 times on stream. They really do that shit. You can choose to 1v1 someone at the drum line to take their spot on the line. That's fucking sick, man. That's so cool. Patted the box office with his progeny. That's the way to do it, man. How do you think those... I was going to say, how do you think those God's Not Dead movies are making so much money? But I'm pretty sure it's because half of the marketing is you should just buy tickets for it and not show up. Buy tickets for the movie so that it always ends up ranking high in the box office. And then people will open their newspapers and be like, wow, this movie's making a lot of money. I should go see it. Then they go to the theater and they're like, sorry, all the shows are sold out. And they're like, damn, this must be like the most popular movie of all time. No, and then. Can you explain box office considering it's before reviews come out and it's entirely based on advertising? So Rotten Tomatoes was like 10 years old by 2002. So reviews existed, also newspapers and television programs. But yeah, like you used to, a lot of the time you would just watch a trailer and be like, that looks good. And then you would go see it. It's pretty much how it went back in the day. But sometimes you would read the reviews and you would be like, whoa, it turns out this movie is not good. I'm going to go see something else. Which much different than now, because nowadays people go, movie I haven't seen, critics are saying it's bad. They don't know what they're talking about. I'm going to go see it twice. I'm going to go see it. Fuck you, A.O. Scott, for giving this movie a 2 out of 5, even though you've seen it and I haven't. Just because you don't like it, I'm going to piss you off by going to see it twice, bro. What is this Sandra Bullock movie? Oh, it's 2 weeks' notice? I needed Hugh Grant. Hugh Grant is like a huge opening, man. Because there's like music and lyrics with Hugh Grant, Notting Hill, About a Boy, Cloud Atlas. Peter Travers raves. So true. So true. That was pretty good, man. Movie reviewers are authorities. Yeah, on movies. Back in the day, not these days, because like now anybody can just, I mean, listen, it's like the Steam thing. You're on one side of it or you're on the other side and you're going to hate me for saying it. But I feel like Rotten Tomatoes, not to, steal Pajiba's recent bit, but Rotten Tomatoes was better like when movie critics were guys who all looked like Bob Balaban And no matter what they saw, the first line was, hated it. And then they spent the rest of the movie or the rest of the review just tearing it down. And then at the end, if it was good, they give it like a 3 out of 5. Nowadays, every website is called like cool, fun movies. And they're like, it's not as good as the last one, but it's still a must see, 4.5 out of 5. The Bob Balaban counter is going up. I got to get some Bob Balaban glasses, man. First, swanky percent. Yeah, those circle glasses. What's the name of Bill Murray's character in the Royal Tenenbaums? Something St. Clair, right? Androgynous first name St. Clair. Raleigh, that's it. I'm gonna start. My fall look is gonna be Raleigh St. Clair, man. Well, probably not, but I did get a sweater this weekend. Goated movie. Hated it. 4 out of 5. It's really good. Let me get this straight. Luke Wilson says, I'm going to kill myself tomorrow, and then he tries to kill himself right then. A little bit of a plot hole, Wes Anderson. How did nobody see that during production? Kind of embarrassing that it took a guy like me to suss that one out. No stars! Anyway. What happened to Monday to Nymphomaniac Volume 1? Lars von Trier, you fucking pervert. I don't know what happened to Monday is. That might be Glenn Close. It looks like a young adult film if I had to guess. I don't know what this is, but do you have Glenn? It is Glenn Close, y'all. That's Glenn Close. All right. And we're trying to get the Nymphomaniac. Willem Dafoe, Shia LaBeouf, Charlotte Gainsbourg, Stellan Skarsgård. We got Noomi Rapace, Glenn Close. We're trying to get to Swanky. My swanky play would be something like Noomi Rapace, Prometheus. Then I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, do you go Charlize or do you go Michael Fassbender? Idris Elba. Guy Pearce, too. Sean Harris. I forgot Sean Harris is in that as dude whose head gets really big. Guy whose head gets fucking huge when he gets bit by the alien or whatever. I remember that. Is this the... That's the Icelandic dude for sure, 100%. Or you're freaking me out. I'm not going to scroll up. I'm thinking. I'm not super familiar with either of your oeuvres, to be honest with you. Guy Pearce, on the other hand, I mean, he's kind of the GOAT of everything. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we go freaky mode. We go Guy Pearce, Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. That gets you to Hugo Weaving, which takes you to Cloud Atlas. And now, like, I'm at an ensemble I'm a little bit more familiar with, I think. Not by a lot, now that I look at the actual cast. Although, Keith David, There's Something About Mary... Gets you to Ben Stiller. And, of course, Chris Elliott, Jeffrey Tambor, Sarah Silverman. And this is a star-studded cast, man. It's a star-studded cast. This guy from Sex and the City, Brett Favre, of course. Brett Favre's in it, people. They got to me, Chibley. They got to me. The Dirty Dems, they got to me. Lee Evans, Mr. Twice last year himself. Ben Stiller. Where am I going here? I'm going fucking nowhere. I'm going. How about Walter Mitty? Ben Stiller, stop doing Christmas movies, you fucker. Kristen Wiig, Bridesmaids, John Hamm, Keeping Up with the Joneses. And from here, it's Isla Fisher, Wedding Crashers. I got something. It's Vince Vaughn, The Watch. I think I was trying to get back to Ben Stiller in my head. Which doesn't make any sense. Mike McDaniel reported he sat next to Tua Tagovailoa on the plane. He was watching MacGruber and laughing throughout. It's like Arlie Ermi, probably like a Saving Silverman type deal. And then you got Jack Black. You ever been in a movie with Frances McDormand? It's rough, y'all. I'm just... Someone says something so American Pie phobic, you got to hit him with the Jason Biggs face. Whatever, let's see what's going on in this garbage. The usual suspects, huh? This looks... Oh, shit. Where am I going, man? Gonna find my ass in Schmigadoon. Where am I going, man? I'm out here with Luis Guzman. I'm not really connecting anything. I'm just sort of naming movies, man. Anna Faris. We're there. Anna Faris. Observe and Report. Seth Rogen. You get to funny people. You can do anything from funny people. Where's my Buscemi at? Buscemi is in Billy Madison with Adam Sandler, who's in Fargo with Frances McDormand, who's in Nomad. Okay, we're halfway there with Swanky. Now the easy part, Swanky to Charlotte Gainsbourg. Probably looking at something like David Strathairn. Let's play a movie that has people in it. You know what? How about Fracture? That's got Ryan Gosling in it. Rosamund Pike. Cliff Curtis, the GOAT. We're going to be here for this is going to be like 10 minutes, man, of not looking at chat, which is crazy. I don't know, dude, a nuke could have gone off and I wouldn't know. I'm disconnected right now. Nymphomaniac, Charlotte Gainsbourg, The Science of Sleep. Not Diego Luna, that's Gail Garcia Bernal. I don't like this line. I don't like this line at all. Take Me Back. Shia LaBeouf, Even Stevens, the movie. Take Me Back. Stellan Skarsgård, Good Will Hunting, Matt Damon, Anthony Hopkins, The Mask of Zorro, Antonio Banderas, X vs. Sever, Lucy Liu, My Girl Drew, Matt Damon, Lucy Liu, Tom Green, Lucy Liu, Drew Barrymore, Cameron Diaz, Ben Stiller, Dear Santa, Jack Black, Anthony Hopkins, The Mask of Zorro, Antonio Banderas, X vs. Sever. I fucked up. I know where I want to go now. This fella, I know this fella. I want to go back. I want to go Antonio Banderas. I want to go Mask of Zorro. Because Catherine Zeta-Jones is in Intolerable Cruelty with George Clooney, who's in Ocean's 11. With Matt Damon, who's in Good Will Hunting, with Stellan Skarsgård, who's in Nymphomaniac Volume 1. 6 minutes, 43 seconds. Fast as fuck, bro. Fast as fuck. Fuck you. Willem Dafoe's in both movies, y'all. Just for that, you're getting Puck Doku. Leaves and Islanders. That's going to have to be Brian Berard for a fellow like me. Goals against average under 3 for the whole season. That's going to be hard for the Islanders. I'm just kidding. They got some goats, man. How about Billy Smith? Billy Smith, y'all. He might not have actually played in the era where he would be that good. I mean, he was good, but let's try it. He's in there. But people were scoring lots of goals back then because the goalies didn't even have pads on. Everyone knows Pekka Rinne. I'm a big Thomas Vokoun head, man. That's my GOAT right there. Not just for hairline reasons. Dallas Stars, does that include the old North Stars? Why would that matter? Let's try a little Andy Moog, man. Let's see if people remember the Moogler. And then the rest of these, nobody really cares, man. I mean, for the blues, obviously, you can go something like Doug Wade. Like, that's a gimme. Rest of these, who really cares, man? Who really cares? Who Shrunk the Dude's Eyes? Kate, I got horrible news for you about Brian Berard. He took a puck or a stick to the eyeball. And the recovery was long. Former first overall pick. Oh no? Danny Heatley killed a dude? That's right. Danny Heatley. It could be worse, Kate. You could be Danny Heatley. But he did score 50 goals in 2007. That's true. Don't say straight shot. It wasn't with a gun. Movie grid. It also was not with a PVC pipe with a firework launched through it, although that would be sick. If you work 8 to 5, you can take your lunch whenever you like. How early is it acceptable to take lunch? Okay, I don't know if this is your first job. Maybe you've been working even longer than anyone has. I had to say more than me because people were gonna be like, what are you talking about? The trick is you don't take an early lunch, you take a late lunch. Because your brain anchors lunch as the middle of the workday. So if you work 8 to 5, I would try, and you had an hour or 40 minutes for lunch, I would try to take a 2 lunch. 3 is getting a little crazy. But if you could take a 2 p.m. lunch, get back to the office around 3, and then you only have 2 hours left, but really it's not 2 hours, because, once 1:15 rolls around, people are just fucking screwing the pooch, right? If you end up taking lunch at like 11 a.m., it's like you barely even started the workday, and then when you sit back down at your desk, you're going to be like, oh, fuck. I got 5 more hours of this, and I already ate, man. I've told this story a few times. Lunch is a waste of time. Wrong. I'm going to DL is wrong. Lunch is not a waste of time. Lunch is what it's all about. You work so that you can eat lunch. That's my 2 cents on that issue. But I've told this story about 100 times. I worked in an office where when I worked there, they were like, you can take lunch whenever you want. I think I worked 8:30 to 4:30. I started taking my lunch at like 3 sometimes. I would tank the whole morning and the early afternoon, take lunch at 3, come back to my desk at 3:45 and be like, nobody's doing anything anyway. So like, it's basically like free laziness. And then after like 2 weeks of that, they changed the code of conduct, which felt bad because it was just for me. They changed the code of conduct so you have to take lunch between 11 and 1 a.m. And then they also put like a afternoon stand-up essentially at 2:30 so that you have to you have to be there, which is crazy. I thought it was kind of a dick move, man. I was also like, damn, they fucking hate me. I'm literally like a summer student. I'm going to work here for 4 months. Nobody's going to remember my name. I'm not going to remember anybody else's name. But they were like, hey, let's fucking work the whole system around just so that this guy can't do his cheeky little lunch. That's what I'm saying. Why do they care? They put the paper in the basket, and I fucking did the paper that they asked me to do. And then I put the paper in another person's basket so that they can do their part. Seems crazy, man. Anyway, Matt Damon, one-word title. Rounders. Dogma's in there. There's a few. 3%. Holy cow. Title starts with Q to Z. The talented Mr. Ripley. I'm gonna speed run it today. 05-2025. You know me. I'm a the informant or the adjustment bureau head on these typically. Viola Davis. Here we go, y'all. Let's drop a Widows in here. And let's drop a Suicide Squad. She's in both. You in the Help? Viola Davis, are you in the Help? You're in a lot of stuff. I forgot Colin Farrell's in that. Tilda Swinton, one-word title, and she's not in Tar. Starts with Q to Z. A lot of old heads don't know. Vanilla Sky has Tilda Swinton. She is the receptionist at the tech support Life Extensions Laboratory. Go check it out, y'all. Go check it out. Good movie. Mogs Abra los Ojos. Just kidding. That's how I felt when I was 14, though. 05 to 2025, Tilda Swinton. Tilda Swinton, Only Lovers Left Alive, kind of a play here. Tilda Swinton, one-word title. She's pogging up in Oakja, or Snowpiercer, I suppose. And you are in The Help. I might be the GOAT. I might be the GOAT. Except for these two, but we need to talk about Kevin. Yo, fuck that. We got to talk about Kenneth, man. Kenneth Walker. 12 touches, 23 yards. You're a professional running back. There's 32 RB1s in the fucking league. You can't be doing that. I drafted that. That's your RB. That's crazy. He's my RB2. My RB1 was Jahmyr Gibbs. Don't even get me started. Dude caught 10 of 10 passes. Total yards on the receptions was like 26 or something like that. Embarrassing. Gibbs balled out. Not if you're playing half PPR like a fucking stud. How's Anthony Richardson looking? I put him on the waiver wire this morning. I honestly, my Richardson draft, it was a flyer assuming that the Colts would start the season like 0-8 and they'd be like, we'll throw anybody in QB1. Instead, it turns out that the Miami football Dolphins don't know how to play football anymore, which fucking sucks because my wide receiver number 1 in one of my leagues is Jalen Waddle. So don't even, it was a fucking disaster. It was a fucking disaster, man. The whole week was a disaster, fantasy football style. But it's only week 1. We're coming back. We're bringing it back. I'm not even sweating it, man. At least Michael Pittman Jr. held it down for me. Good thing you're not playing against Derrick Henry this week. I was playing against Derrick Henry this week. I was. I also have George Pickens. It was a disaster. I also have George Pickens. It was indeed. Every possible player underperformed, I think. Across both of my teams, every single player underperformed their projections. It was a complete shellacking. It was disastrous. And then Yahoo fudges the numbers too. So then it doesn't look like it's as bad as it was. It's like, well, yeah, he got 3 points, but his projection was only 6.1. No, the fuck it wasn't. No, it wasn't. His projection was like 17. You adjusted it down like the Bureau of Employment Statistics once the data came out, and it turns out he's fucking washed. Anyway.
Welding. A verb meaning to rush. A noun meaning any. Spiral. A adjective meaning winding around a center or. Dither. A verb meaning.
I like dither.
Shake. A verb meaning to move irregularly to and fro.
You got me wrapped around your finger.
Demonstrative. A adjective meaning demonstrating.
You guys have sound, right?
Embryo. A noun.
I got rhymes in my mind embedded like an embryo.
Laconic.
Oh,
Adjective
I love
meaning
laconic.
Using or. Turophile. A noun meaning a connoisseur of cheese, a cheese fancier. Irregular combines Greek tyros for cheese and English arphile meaning lover. Turophile. A noun meaning a connoisseur of cheese, a cheese fancier. Irregular combines Greek tyros for cheese and English arphile meaning lover.
Fuck you. Because I couldn't hear it well enough.
Slobbery. A noun meaning saliva.
Until someone makes a fancier cheese. So true.
Mallet. A noun meaning a hammer with a
It's a funny word.
insouciance. A noun meaning lighthearted unconcern, nonchalance. Derived from French in and soucier, meaning to trouble or disturb. Insouciance.
That was a bit of a flyer. Insouciance.
Castilian. A noun meaning a native or an
Fuck you. 1L.
poltroon. A noun meaning a spiritless coward. Craven. Poltron from Middle French comes from Old Italian poltrone, related to poltro meaning colt, from Latin pullus. Poltroon. A noun meaning a spiritless coward. Craven. Poltron from Middle French comes from Old Italian poltrone, related to poltro meaning colt, from Latin pullus. Poltroon.
Fuck you. It's impossible.
Demitas. A noun meaning a small cup of
Okay, demitas is easy enough, but the hell, man. Castilian is 1L. Insouciance, I put one too many S's in it. Oh, we were kind of in there. Your last name is French? You're so lucky I'm struggling to think of a guy with the last name of Lee who is not Chinese or Korean. God, this would go fucking hard if I could think of a Yeah, what do you think? Christopher Lee speaks Korean, bitch? You're gonna lose your mind when you find out about Christopher Lee. He was in the fucking FBI or something. He was in MI6, bro. He might speak Korean for all I know. Robert E. Lee, we don't talk about him. Isn't he canceled for like being the general in charge of the Confederate Army during the American Civil War from 1860 to 1865? Oyster stew versus Ngao Zap. This one's wild, okay? Because like I think a lot of people would be like, that looks yummy. But then they would be like, ew, that's tripe. And oysters, a lot of people are just like, that's not yummy. I like oysters, but I don't know, man. This is hard. I guess I'm gonna go with this, but I figured they would both be pretty low. Labubu versus kipcorn. Fried stuff is tasty. A tasty snack, a breaded deep fried chicken sausage. I think that beats soaked millet, man. Labubu versus Huachicos. Looks pretty good. Chicken sausage. This is a stew, and this is a stew. A stew of fish or meat, a layer of meat and seasoning stewed. I gotta be honest, I think I go Angola on this one. That was really close. Morioka Jaja, man. That makes sense. Versus Tom Sum. It's chicken soup. I mean, this, to be fair, you mix it. Like I feel like they could have mixed it here. I think we go with that. Japan buff. Hot pot. Don't even think about it. It's like one of the most glazed foods of all time. Mandelkube versus Kulorakia. Butter-based pastry, small, dense pastry. I think that my brain thinks that looks better. That the average person will prefer that. Chatjuk versus Church Kayla. What are you? Nuts on a string? Yeah, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Porridge from pine nuts. I mean, I think this wins. That's more likely to be something I would eat. Never mind, y'all. We were on a wave, too. This looks like a soup that a zombie would eat, or like a witch or something like that, and that looks good as fuck. Okoi. Or tube rice pudding. What is okoi? Crispy deep fried fritters with unshelled small shrimp. I don't know, man. Cassava, mung bean sprouts. I think I gotta go rice pudding on that one. It's not gonna be hot, Carl, I'll tell you that much. That's rotten shark. %26% said yum on the hack, Carl. Meanwhile, we got people out there that are getting protein lattes at Tim Hortons. Virtue signaling. This looks good, man. This is Adventures of a Gastronome. It looks good as fuck, man. Why does the shrimp taste so much better when it's pinker? Flavorful noodle soup. Fish sauce, lime, cilantro. I tried to recreate it, but I couldn't get the spices right. I'm going to say that's Thailand. That's hot, y'all. I'm going to say that's Vietnam. We'll take that. 12%, man. We got to talk. We got to talk. Rice flour, tapioca, pandan juice. Pandan juice, yep. It's Indonesia. I don't know. I didn't even. I'll just click yum on it so you don't get mad at me. Dude, this is spumoni ice cream from Italy. Anybody not clicking yum on this, it's fucking on site, bro. It's ice cream. It's the most easy to like food of all time. I'm not saying it's the best food. It's the easiest food to like in history. Okay, I can live with 95.5. I go outside knowing 5% of people are insane. That's fine. That's acceptable to me. That doesn't bother me. 5%, I expect, especially online, I expect 5% of people to be insanely mentally ill. So that was good. That was good. We just can't eat it without shitting our pants. I'm sorry, you're kind of a puss, not for being lactose intolerant, but if you see a picture of ice cream and you go, yuck, I'm lactose intolerant, that's puss mode. I'm sorry to say. Because you're not eating it, it's a picture. And they're not asking you, will you diarrhea your pants? They're asking you, does it taste good? Does it look like it tastes good, or does it look like it tastes yuck? And it looks like it tastes fucking good because it does. I'm sorry, I don't know your username. Chatter, I'm sorry I was not your mother. I don't know what environment you're in that you can win the argument by saying I'm lactose intolerant, but in the marketplace of rational ideas, we do not let that happen. You're not lactose intolerant to a picture. If you look at a picture of ice cream or any kind of dairy and you poop your pants, you need to talk to a gastroenterological psychiatrist, which I'm sure you could probably find one. You might have to Google it, but because something's not right there. Anyway, we mog. That's true. I think also, as I get older, I'm a little lactose intolerant. Fuck it, I'll still drink half a milkshake. Am I going to have diarrhea in the morning? Yeah, whatever. I'm 36. It happens. It's diarrhea. What do you sit on the toilet, shit out the diarrhea, look at your phone, and fucking go to work. Big whoop. Get your kid ready for school. 50 more years. You got probably 50 more years of this shit. Might as well get used to it. Bugs or goat? Probably go with goat on this one. Fuck you, man. Beers? I mean, I got to be honest with you. You know I don't snap pick Japan out of nowhere. And this looks good. And it comes with a beer. But yakitori in a bowl, that looks pretty good, man. Is it possible Japanese food could beat beer on this one? That felt good. Argentinian barbecue. Looks like it beats the bricks off of the... and also, by the way, you think I've forgotten Brighton and Hove Albion? It's on fucking site with you, okay? It's on site. I will never vote for your food. I hope that you get demoted. I hope you get made an example of in Welcome to Wrexham. I hope you're the only team that Ryan Reynolds' football team beats because of your fuck-ass pictures and your AI-generated fucking food advertisements is on site. I don't care. It doesn't matter. This is fake. You juice the numbers. cheesy chips. My problem with this is after you broil the cheese on top of the fries, if you stick a fork in there and try to grab a fry, the back half of the fry is going to be too attached to the substrate. So you're going to end up with one fry that's just a little crispy, and then the rest of it is just a mass in the middle. But, I mean, I can't deny that it looks like a poop. But I'm putting myself in the shoes of the average Briton, and I'm going cheesy chips, and it wasn't even close. It wasn't even close. Straight shot. My wife's been saying straight shot since the fireworks video. I love it, man. Our daughter was kind of, we were crashing out on her, though, because she was like, what's straight shot? And then we explained it. And then right after we explained it, she did the Derek Zoolander thing. She said, so what's straight shot? And we were like, are you kidding me? We just explained it. It took us like 2 minutes to explain it too, because it was like, it's like there's a wasp's nest. You know, on a house, like when two walls and a roof touch and there's a corner there was a wasp's nest right there. This dude set up a ladder with a pipe and then shot a firework through and blew up the nest. It's got to be sausage. So what are you putting in your body, man? I'm sorry, I can't with the discourse, okay? I'm gonna vote for this. That looks good and it's cheaper. But I can't deal with it looks like poo. I'm sorry. Sure, man, there's cylinders everywhere. I don't know what to tell you. I'm glad it has an 80%. That looked tasty. Tooting and Mitcham United. I gotta be honest, that looks good as fuck, and this looks horrible, so that's easy enough. With olive. That looks really bad. That looks fine. So we'll go there. I mean, I think this is fucking gross, man. To be straight up with you, I think this is disgusting. This is obviously worse. I don't want a boiled quail egg on my hot dog, man. It's probably the most. It's probably the most rated food on the planet. I don't think you could do better than katsu chicken curry. This is my mea culpa to Justin for saying takoyaki is like the most overrated food on the planet, even though I still kind of like it. Katsu is really good. Every variant of katsu is as delicious as people say it is. It's really. I'm kind of stunned. It's only 91%. I'm from Japan, and I kind of agree on the takoyaki take. Yes, yes, we got one. We got one. It feels so good when you say something like, you know, I like pho and I like banh mi. I'm not really fucking with the pate at the Vietnamese restaurant sometimes. And then a bunch of people from Ohio are like, that's ridiculous. And then one Vietnamese person is like, you're real for that one. We don't only old people eat the pate in Ho Chi Minh City. And I'm like, fuck you, Ohio. I got you, bro. Check it out. This is my boy right here. But tell him what you said. Tell him what you said about the pate. Tell him what you said. That's right. Only old people eat that shit in Ho Chi Minh City, bitch. Get owned. Feels so good, even though it didn't. That's not really what happened, and I just made it up. But if it happened, it's my fucking day, man. Before its 1855 glow up, Bytown was the name of what Canadian city? That's Ottawa, bro. Bunch of idiots probably typed in Toronto. Is the only one they know. It's gotta be Toronto, right, guys? Yeah. Send it. Paradise Ranch is what Lockheed designer Kelly Johnson called the facility, better known by what numerical name? How would I know? Area 51? All right, buddy. Saphira is the non-human half of the partnership at the center of what first book in the inheritance cycle? Pass. Christopher Paolini was on. Oh, it must be Aragon. I don't know Aragon. It's past. After my time. Before Schitt's Creek, Emily Stevie Hampshire starred along Aaron Stanford and Amanda Schull on what time travel show? Is it Doctor Who? Probably not, because I think that she's probably Canadian. Time travel show. Wishbone? He doesn't really travel through time. He kind of goes into books. Let's try it, man. More than 20 years after starring in the Terry Gilliam movie, Madeline Stowe appeared. This is The Adventures of Baron Munchausen? Oh, it's 12 Monkeys, motherfucker. Obviously, it's 12 Monkeys. What are you talking about, The Adventures of Baron Munchausen, man? What are you talking about? Overlooking Lake Michigan, Harbor House is a James Beard winning seafood place in what city? Chicago? Chicago? The Chicago over... My Great Lakes, once you know Ontario, you don't need to know the rest. Isn't it, they're always proposing a bridge between like Grand Rapids and Chicago, right? I think they want you to say Detroit, but it's really, never mind. The year-round restaurant in Jay Leinenkugel's Barrel Yard overlooks left field at American Family Field. In what city? Maybe, am I insane if I say like Milwaukee? Am I stupid if I say Milwaukee? Okay, huge. Huge. Chicken walkie. Something like that. That was a pretty good thrice, man. You should visit Chicago. I think I would like it, but they got to build like a theme park or something there. I don't know. They got one? Okay, but the roller coasters can't be too scary. It's got to have exactly the right kind of theme park. The zoo is free and really good. I also dropped like a couple of racks to go to the free zoo in Chicago. I don't know. I got to figure it out. Vancouver Zoo is better. DL, that would stun me because I always forget that we even have one. I don't think it could possibly be better than the Chicago Zoo. Every time I go to the aquarium, I'm like, oh, right, we have a fucking zoo too. I had no idea. San Diego Zoo? Yeah, we've been. It's pretty good. Got to think about it though. To be honest with you, I mean, this is Vancouver glazing. I do have to say, like, I'm really of the opinion that as long as you can get to hear me out here. My base case is that there's essentially no difference between a 2-hour flight and a 6-hour flight. And what I mean by that is that at that low level of flying time, the hardest part is getting to the airport and getting onto the plane. The rest of it is just you're sitting in a chair a little bit longer. Not that big of a deal. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, well, it would be nice to go to Chicago. It's only a 90-minute flight. Because like a 90-minute flight versus like a 5-hour flight, it's almost the same thing as far as I'm concerned. That's multiple movies. Yeah, okay, watch one more movie and then get to the place that you actually want to go. The reason I'm saying that is because, and it changes when you're going longer distances, like from Vancouver, you get to Japan 8.5 hours. You get to London in 9 hours. Got a lot of competition. Now, Chicago, probably a 3-hour flight, if I had to guess. Maybe a 2.5, 3-hour flight. Double it, add another movie. Double it and add another movie, and you're landing in Tokyo? No disrespect to Chicago. If I was going on a pizza tour, I know where I'd go. I would not go to fucking Tokyo. Flights that are long enough to require a bathroom break, different beast. Am I just the last honest man, you get up and go piss and then go back in your chair. It doesn't matter. You don't know what it's like. People will be like, you don't know what it's like to be 6 foot flat and go on a long flight. Buddy, my kid takes her shoes and socks off the second she gets on the plane. And then like a minute later when the seatbelt sign is on, she's like, Daddy, I have to go potty right now. So I'm carrying her through turbulence with the flight attendants yelling at me to sit in my seat, putting her on the toilet in the airplane bathroom and trying to position my body in such a way that I can fit in the room and close the door, which for some reason folds in. It's not like the whole plane is very spacious, but the bathroom is the least spacious part, and the door accordions in to the bathroom where space is at the highest premium. And then I'm sitting there going like this, like just bracing myself. And then she's like, I'm done. So I have her stand on the toilet seat during turbulence while I like wipe up, make sure everything's clean, put it in the toilet, flush the toilet. Then I'm opening the door, which folds in, like rotating 270 degrees to get out of the fucking bathroom and then get back to my seat. And people are like, you wouldn't know what it's like. You wouldn't know what it's like to be inconvenienced on an airplane. You sit in a chair and watch a movie. I don't even get to watch the movies anymore. I'm constantly getting, Daddy, look at this, and I'm still not like, oh, that was hell. You just sat in a chair. People weren't firing like anti-aircraft guns at you and shit. You weren't carrying like, precious cargo behind enemy lines or something like that. You're just chilling. You got nothing to do. It hurts after a few hours. Everything hurts. You just fucking suck it up. And then every once in a while, get up and go like, "Arr." That's it. Do the stretches. Avoid deep vein thrombosis, man. I mean, it's just crazy to me. Like, I'm 5'10", and people will be like, you wouldn't know what it's like to be 6'1". Yeah, I fucking would. I walk on my toes, buddy. I know exactly what it's like to be 6'1". That's me like 30% of every day. It's crazy to me that people are like, yeah, I'd go on a 2-hour flight, but I would not go on a 4-hour flight. That's insane. I mean, once you're on the plane, you've already tanked the worst part, man. You've done the worst part. You're now at the best part, being on the plane. The longer that they make that part, you might as well tank that to get to the destination you really want to go to. Now, the way things change, by the way, just so people don't complain, let's put some garbage on the screen so they got some Subway surfers to look at. Things change as soon as you have to make a connection. So, direct flight, Vancouver to Tokyo, 9 hours, ain't nothing but a peanut for a beast like me. Flying 6 hours to Florida, and you have to connect in like Salt Lake City on the way, at least 1.5 times as bad as the flight that's 1.5 times longer. Because you got to go to a place you don't even want to be in the first place, and you're in the worst part of that place, which is the airport. And then you got to fucking, do I have to get my luggage here? I don't know. Do I have to fucking, and then you got to follow the signs for connections. And then sometimes you got to unpack your bag at customs, even though you fucking blah, 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 blah. And then when you land, you're in fucking Florida. At the end of the day, you're in Florida. So, if you, here's my base case. 10-hour flight, that's direct, substantially easier than 5 hours of flying with one connection. And if you got to make 2 connections, like, it's hell. Like, I would rather, now the worst part is if you want to go to some place, like if you want to go to fucking, I don't know, Singapore or something like that, I'm pretty sure you got to take 2 long flights with at least one connection. You might have to go fucking like 9 hours to Japan and then like another 9 hours to Singapore right after that or something like that. You won't even know who you are by the time you land. But I want to know the flight status of people who complain about flying. The Elguiga, first off, money spread. Money spread me right now. Secondly, you can't do that. That's problematic. They're going to get you in the class wars. Thirdly, as somebody who has recently had the world, okay, like we don't fly first class, but as someone who's had the world of the airport lounges opened up to me, they're selling you a yarn, man. There ain't nothing going on in those fucking lounges unless you're an alcoholic. Cold noodle salads and fucking like bananas in a trapezoidal bowl and shit like that. Bunch of premium plus saltine crackers. Like it's ass, man. Plus you're like, oh, at least there's some fucking space. And then you get in there and everyone's got their fucking suitcases out and you're like, there's no space, man. There's no space. Istanbul Lounge? Bro, I'm not Eric Adams, okay? Also, DL Guiga, can I just tell you something? Because you were the guy who said you wouldn't like to shop at a bakery that gives you a tab, that extends a line of credit to you because it's priced into the goods. Do you ever consider that the perks you're getting from your office are priced out of your fucking salary? Bro, wouldn't you rather just have the money so that you could invest it in your Costco membership on January 1st? Corporate spending all the money on you flying first class. Wouldn't you rather just fly economy and have an extra couple G's in your pocket? I know you got something. I know you're typing it up right now. And I know it's going to be right. That's what's going to piss me off the most. I know it's going to be right. You're right. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Did I go too hard? Also, people say overseas lounges go harder. Not true if you're from, like, Europe, because then the overseas lounges are American or Canadian, so they probably suck. You ever think about that? Overseas changes depending on where you're fucking from. I'm from North America, so the overseas lounges are probably better. But if you're from fucking China, you're probably like, what the fuck's wrong with these overseas lounges? Maple Leaf Lounge? Fuck ass Maple Leaf Lounge? Sort these people by how old they were when they died, starting with the oldest. Sick. This should be fun. Of these, I feel like Prince was the oldest. I feel like Prince died in 2013. Purple Rain came out like 1984. There's a 30-year difference. He was probably like in his mid-50s. Michael Jackson was in his early 50s. That's where things get interesting. John Lennon died in 1980. He would have been in his early to mid 20s when the Beatles were popping off in the early 60s, which would mean that he was born 1939. So he's 41 years old when he died. JFK was young when he got elected, but young for a president, is still kind of old as dirt. The real question, I think these are ordinally right now. Because I think Diana, I don't think you were 41 when you died. But you were older than 40. No, because then you were born in 1930. You were the oldest, right? If you were born in 1930, you were 50 when you died. I don't buy it. I think you're up here. Elvis, I'm not much of an Elvis historian. I don't really know when he died. I know he was alive in the 70s. He became famous in the 50s. Could have been in his late 40s. I'm going to put him right there. We take those. That was pretty good. Elvis Costello. Elvis's last meal was 6 scoops of ice cream, so the lactose thing tracks about getting older. I don't think that's what happened to him, man. Oh, hey, well, here we go. My comp is not a function of how much I fly, as that's based on the market, but it's true that I could keep a portion of cost savings I make to save the firm money. I'd be more mindful of this. If I could keep a portion of cost savings I make to save the firm money, I'd be more mindful of the spend. That's what it's all about, man. It's like Jay-Z said, man, I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman. When you're your own boss, it feels like bad as fuck when your boss pays for you to fly first class. You're like, damn, that's my money, bitch. Put me in seat fucking 41K. I don't give a fuck. Put me next to the shitter. I do not care. I already told you, and people get mad at me because I know this. The reason they get mad at me is because it's insane. But the reason that I think they get mad at me is because I'm winning. And I know when you fly first class, you think that the whole time you fly first class, even at the luggage carousel, you're like, I'm winning. I'm winning the airport. No, you're not. No, you're not. You were winning during the boarding process when you got on first, and you were winning during the flight when you had better food. They trust you not to go crazy mode. They give you real cutlery, and you got more space, okay? But as soon as we get off the plane, I literally closed the gap. I closed the gap. If you spent $5,000 to be in seat 1A, and I spent $500 to be next to the shitter, boom, 4.5K closer to catching you. Or I'm gapping you even further. So as soon as we're at the luggage carousel, I'm like, guess what, bitch? You were mogging me on the flight, and now we're both at luggage carousel M. We're both in the same destination. We're both waiting. We both have our suitcases coming off last for some reason. Everybody's suitcase comes off last at the carousel. People with no overhead should be able to get off the plane first. It literally, coordinating that would make things so much more complicated. Take it from somebody with a small kid. Sometimes we wait for the whole airplane to get off before we get off. You think it's going to be like an extra half hour. It's literally like an extra 2 to 3 minutes. When you're waiting in that line, you're like, why is it taking so long? I've been standing up for an hour. When you're sitting down watching people stream out, it takes like, it's a 5 minutes max. 5 minutes max. It's easy, man. I would take free checked luggage over first class. Pro tip, never check your luggage. And then when you get to the gate, they're going to be like, nobody could have possibly seen this coming. Nobody could have seen this coming. There's not enough overhead space. We're checking bags for free now. Excuse me, I heard you were checking bags for free now. And then, wouldn't you know it, turns out that shit is not $50 each. That shit is $0. And in fact, it's so free that they actually force you to do it sometimes if nobody volunteers. Pro tip, travel with just a backpack. Pro tip, be 20 years old. Good one. I'll try that. Oh, wait, I already did. Why didn't I think of that? Why didn't I think of that when I'm taking my family on a trip across the ocean? Bring a backpack. Or you could go Walter Mitty mode. You could be one of those like 52-year-old dudes with a backpack. One backpack each? Bro, my kid is like 3'0" and needs the most shit. That's the most fucked up part about it. Even though she's the smallest, she needs the most shit, man. I can't put her in one of those fucking Patagonia backpacks. It's gonna look like she's from a Kojima game. +1 travel stroller though. Dude, are you taking it? Maybe you're flying first class anyway, but are you taking advantage of that? We're now boarding families with small children shit. God, it feels fucking good. When all the, I'm sorry to say it, I'm sorry to be ageist, when all the boomers with Zone 5 on their boarding pass line up at the gate, and then they go, we're now boarding families with small children who require a little bit of extra time. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. My 4-year and 11-month-old child has just been called up to the to the gate. Felix, sir, and madam, if you could please move aside. Right this way, sir. Right this way. It's I don't know, about 3 weeks till her birthday. Right this way. Right this way. Feels good as fuck. Imagine if your kid was a veteran. Oh, I didn't even think about that shit. That would go so fucking hard. Maybe I'll put my kid in the military. Is there like a child army, but like not in a bad way? Is there like a good child army? Maybe like Mr. Beast subscribers? Higher increase in population weighted density. That's interesting. I mean, listen, it's always been dense. I'm assuming it's gotten denser. Makes sense. Higher population weighted density. I'm assuming it's gotten. I mean, this is. I don't know. Maybe you're popping. Maybe you're popping. I don't know. Never mind. Higher percentage of people who are white. I'm going to go Indianapolis. Higher percentage of people employed in public administration. There's 80 people in Newfoundland, and I must assume at least 15 of them work for the government. Higher percentage of workers employed in education and librarianness. This is where you're going to tell me that there's 8 universities here. Do you guys see Florida lost to South Florida? Oh, wow. Never go Florida, man. You never go Florida. I'm so Florida, even this acronym, man. There's 100 universities in that area of Massachusetts. Yeah, how many good ones, though? Like 75? Damn. That stings. Oh! I think we failed this first shot every single way that you can fail the first shot, man. Oh, that was clean. That was clean. Oh, nice try. Oh, that's the corner, I'm afraid. That's the corner. Oh, I had lost all hope. Huge. Now, where do you want me? How you like me now? Remember that song? They play it at like the movies sometimes when they want you to buy sodas. Oh, that's all right. Yeah, I think I've only ever heard that song at the movies, man. It is a Borderlands song. I was freaking out when I saw an ad. Borderlands 4 is coming out, man. It's a huge time for epic creator code havers such as myself. I don't know. Maybe that's on Steam this time. It's no good, man. Let's all go to the lobby. Went hard. Every once in a while, I'm struck because I'm not that old. I mean, I'm older than you probably, but apologies to like the 152-year-old dude in chat who's like, please stop saying you're old when you're like 16 years younger than me. But there's even being relatively young in this global scheme of things, in the cosmic scheme of things. Every once in a while, there's like an anecdote where I'm like, damn, I'm fucking old. I remember going to see a movie with my grandma, and I don't remember what the movie is, but at the start of the movie, they played a fucking Warner Brothers short cartoon like it was 1936 or something at the Penny Arcade. Like before the movie came on, they were just like, here's an animated Warner Brothers short. It was crazy, man. That's something an old guy would say. That's an old guy experience. If I had to guess, it's probably like Fern Gully or something. That was not very good, but... And this is tough, man. Ooh. Never mind. They did that for Space Jam. I didn't see that shit in theaters. Nephew, I'm sorry to say. I don't think I'm old enough yet, and it'll happen hopefully because they were doing some fucked up stuff in these movies. But I don't think I'm old enough yet to have seen a movie in theaters where upon its digital re-release they put like a preamble at the front that's like, sorry we said that shit in this movie. That's not me saying that no movie I've ever seen in theaters has had problematic stuff, but definitely I don't think I've seen a movie where they're like apologizing for it, at least not yet. They will one day. White Chicks 4K re-release. What's problematic about White Chicks? Apart from it being so funny, it can be a problem not to laugh if you had to watch it in some other place where you're not supposed to laugh. I should do that for my stream VODs. Oh shit, that would be good. And post it on today's stream and put the VOD up tomorrow. Like we apologize for the insensitive content in this, but we thought it was better to show the film in its entirety and apologize for it rather than censor it out and like excise it and pretend it was something that it wasn't. Pocahontas? I don't think here's the thing is crazy. They definitely do not have that in Pocahontas. I mean, they didn't have it on the preamble on the Disney cruise at the very least. But I think it's kind of crazy that like the real movie that I don't think they could make these days is not like, you know, White Chicks. I really think it's Pocahontas. I think that Pocahontas is like the worst movie to exist in the culture war. And it's a good movie. But I think like one side of the culture war would be like, oh, here we go. Here we go. European settlers bad just because of this shit that they did. And then the other side would be like, we're really going to make a movie with Mel Gibson in it in 2025. And they'd be kind of real for that one, to be honest. But ooh. We're going to make it, man. I still like the Notes app riff on this. Anti-woke YouTuber releasing a video essay mad as fuck. They made the new Mulan Chinese. Did you see that? Right-click technology? We take those. Top 76, that ain't too bad. Bro, they're trolling. They're literally trolling today. That's like an 80, I think it's an 84. Boiling. 86? 88? Oh, 86, gotta be 87. That's why you go up by twos instead of going up by ones. That's why you go up by twos. Now we're talking. Oh shit, dude, they know me. 1980s American films set in Manhattan with screenplays by Wallace Shawn. My Dinner with motherfucking Andre, bro. Trenchant Observations and Delightful Bon Mots. Capitals of Liechtenstein. Liechtenstein. That's Vaduz. I thought for sure it was one of those countries where it had the same... whatever. Nobody lives there. Don't be mad. American female characters in television who are fictional private investigators. That's got to be Jessica Jones. Easy. 1922 births, 1983 deaths. Caltech nuclear strategist. Are you the fella by the name of Richard Feynman. Are you surely you're joking, Richard Feynman? That's Hermit Khan. My bad, y'all. That's my bad. Oppie's a crazy guess. Like, the idea that Oppenheimer made the A bomb at age 24 is fucking crazy. I mean, people they were doing amazing stuff at an earlier age back then because they didn't have as much distraction. But like at 24, that's insane. I mean, amazing in a scientific sense, okay? Not amazing in like, that was like a really good thing that was done. Like when I see the technology, I'm like, I am amazed. I'm kind of like the Oppie of trying to come up with a joke that's as powerful as the A bomb, but for making people laugh instead of destroying them. Like Laffenheimer. We should do, that would be so sick, man. We should do the Manhattan Project, but for comedy. Oh, wait, they already did that. It's the Office Writers' Room. It's the Daily Show in 2003. 1930s crimes in Berlin, 1930s fires in Europe, 1933 fires. This is the Reichstag fire. Even spell that shit right, man. 1956 establishments in Africa. Member states of the Arab League, member states of the United Nations, North African Saharan countries. I feel like you're Tunisia. Morocco. Oh. Cold soups. That's a vichyssoise. I don't know how the fuck to spell that. Yes, thank you. That is what I mean. That is Vichy makes a lot of sense. Yeah, okay. 20th century Indonesian engineers, but politicians probably more likely. I just have no idea. President of Indonesia. There's a guy. This is the one Indonesian politician I know. I feel. Actually, Yoko Widodo. I have no comment. No comment, man. That's really funny though. That is really funny. Is it possible that he took office January 2017? Is it possible that he's been the president of Indonesia from about January 2017 until like the modern day? 1989 establishments in California that were IPOs, punk companies, retail companies from 1989, goth subculture. I mean, it feels like it's this hot topic. Rip to whoever bought the Hot Topic IPO if they're still holding. I have to imagine that they IPO'd, had some seriously hard times in the .com bubble, and then maybe got taken off eventually, and were bought and then taken private. Diel Guiga, do you know this one? The Age of Sail, Circles of Latitude. I have no idea what any of this shit means, man. The Roaring 40s, strong westerly winds that occur in the southern hemisphere. There's just no hope. Winds is crazy. Dude, we're so smart. We're so smart. Minute cryptic. They're real for this one, man. Pigs so crazy for dirt. That's real, man. When the pussy tight. Pigs so crazy for dirt. Crazy. I feel like this is the fodder, or maybe this is the fodder because it's 6 letters, and then you scramble it, and it makes sausage. E. For dirt. Let's see. Crazy is an anagram. Yeah. Fodder is pig sow. The definition is dirt. But it's gossip because it's always a definition, but they're like, and put a cheeky fucking spin on it, bro. Every day we get a little closer. We get a little closer.